Good morning and happy Monday. This is Faith Family Focus, and I'm one of your co-hosts, Faith Suggs, former Duke women's basketball graduate and currently working in Brooklyn, New York with Long Island University as Director of Basketball Operations and Social Media Manager. And this wonderful man in the pink next to me is Shafer Suggs, my dad, former NFL player with the New York Jets and the Cincinnati Bengals, and also serves on the executive board and VP with the NFL former players of Chicago. Good morning, Dad. How are you? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you, Faith. Happy Monday, happy Suggs month morning.
Mm-hmm.
I love that sweater on you.
Oh, thank you. It's more like a salmon, but you bought it probably. I'm so happy we're back. We're live and everything. It's a Monday. It's a new week. It is October. It is officially fall. Halloween vibes in the air, even though we're in a pandemic. Seems like this is the fastest year ever.
It's going fast, and it can't get over quick enough. Hopefully, we will have a really, really nice 2021. But it is fall. I'm thinking about getting some of the fall decorations out, so that will be nice. I have a few decorations. I won't be able to put them all out because I do downside, so there's not enough room to put all of the Halloween decorations out.
Explain to everyone what you always put out for Halloween, Easter, all those things.
Well, I put out everything. I mean, there's enough. I have to completely take out everything in the house and to make room for all the decorations. But pumpkins, the candles, the rugs, pillows, just transform it into the seasonal atmosphere. It's fun.
It does.
It's going to be missing my two kids, but you guys can see it from afar.
Yep. I will see Devin on Friday.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I also wanted to tell you a funny joke. But yeah, I'm gonna drive out on Friday to see Devin in New Haven, Connecticut at Yale, and we're gonna grab some dinner for the Memorial Day of Mom, and hopefully I don't cramp his college style too much. And I'll drive back, but. Yeah, we're excited. I'm excited to see him, and I think he's excited to finally have someone around him to hang out with. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. That's my wonderful cousin.
Yeah, so the joke was, Dad, that they said that 2020, we're going into the fourth quarter of 2020, and we hope that it ends up like the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, the turnaround at the end?
Yes, that's what.
Turnaround at the end? And we'll win.
October, November, December, we're almost there. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully we're seeing it. Obviously, we are going into flu season, so everyone be careful. It's starting to get a little cold out here in New York. I know it's probably getting a little chilly in Chicago as well. So we hope that everyone is, staying safe and enjoying the fall weather. It does bring some newness in the air and some happiness and a little bit of a new season.
Flu shot?
No, the what?
Your flu shot. Did you get a flu shot yet?
No, not yet. Thanks for putting my medical HIPAA business all out on it. Like, no, I have not gone to get. Go to Walgreens. Can you?
Oh, he's so cute.
All right, but yeah, so we're excited. October, though, for most of you who know, is Breast Cancer Awareness Month specifically. And I know we wanted to dedicate this first full week of October to our very own Cancer Awareness Week. 3 shows, all on how to get involved, sharing our story, raising awareness for this insidious disease, because it has affected a lot of us directly and indirectly in its own sort of way. So this week we want to use stories and others, and maybe you can see on the page we have a bunch of donation pages for the Cancer Awareness American Cancer Society, and we will continue to drop more and more. When I find more donations for you guys to give, take time. I know I gave one that you could be a monthly donor I put on there, so just click the donation button or the link I put up. Okay. You guys can get involved in some sort of way. So this week is going to be fun. We're going to raise some awareness. It's like a little party, and I think that it's going to do a lot of good, and I know everyone really wants to help and kind of get ahead of all this stuff because it has affected us in a lot of ways. But of course, as the Suggs family, we have a personal connection to this disease. Us more personally is the melanoma cancer, which is skin cancer. But this month is breast cancer awareness. But it wouldn't be right to not cover all of them because the more the merrier. And add as much help we can to everybody. We will do the best. Oh, we have a nice little comment here.
I love it. Thank you, Mike.
Right, but the very basis of why F3 has come to its own is our own experience by losing our mother and his wife to melanoma cancer. And we have a video to show you guys. It's about 8 minutes long. If you can sit and settle in, and get you guys in the mood for this week and what we can do to fight this terrible disease together more and more. So sit back, enjoy this.
In the fall of 1996, Shafer and Susan Hoster Suggs were expecting their firstborn, but they were not expecting to hear some news that would change their lives forever.
When my parents found out they were pregnant with me, my mom had melanoma cancer.
It was very scary. It's very, very, very difficult because it was like a level 4. And at that time, we had not named our daughter. I said, there's only one name for this little girl, and it was Faith.
Everyone has a story of why they are who they are. On February 3rd, 1997, Faith Suggs was brought into this world a natural-born fighter. Having a father who played professional football, Faith found her passion in the sport of basketball.
Faith Suggs. Greenwell not really looking for her shot. They set up Suggs. And there's her first points of ACC play.
Whether it's on the court, off the court, Faith is just always very passionate. She has a lot of love in her heart, and she will do absolutely anything for this team, for her friends, her family especially. Like, you can ask anybody on the team, who's our toughest player, hands down, it'll be Faith. 15 out of 15.
She's such a fighter. I've got a picture in my office of Faith, and she's ripping a ball, going after a loose ball and kind of ripping it. I think that embodies her spirit and her fight.
Her spirit, her love, her caring. Faith is a very caring, nurturing person, and I see that comes from her mom. I see Sue's grace and her presence in Faith every day.
She was my best friend and a great woman, a great leader, molded me who I am.
In 2011, Sue's melanoma aggressively returned.
Oh, that whole summer, her back was bothering her, and we finally realized that she had a burst fracture in her T3 vertebrae that happened to be cancerous. And unfortunately, we lost her in 2 months.
She was 44.
The impact that it has had on our lives, I can't begin to really describe it. But we've drawn strength from it, especially Faith. And it was right before her freshman year. And I remember going to her freshman year and how basketball was that foundation, that was that inspiration that really kept her going. She was just phenomenal. She was the glue that kept the family together.
I had to grow up really fast. I had to help take care of my family, kind of step up and be that woman of the household, focus on my basketball career, having fun with things, enjoying every little bit, every day as it comes. And one thing with basketball is as you get on the court, you just have fun, you play with your teammates, everything kind of goes away. Any hardships you're having, it's just the best. It's like my safe haven.
As Faith was recruited to play college basketball, the Suggs family received a phone call from someone who understood the impact of melanoma.
I was not aware that she also was experiencing melanoma, and that was immediately a bond.
I was floored by it at the time because I was just finishing going through stuff. I wasn't done with so much of what I was doing. And I felt, without question, I felt a kindred spirit with Faith in her family.
I wasn't looking for somebody to replace her as a mom, but somebody could understand what that meant, what that looks like day by day, and experiencing how that disease has impacted our lives.
The worst melanoma I had was on my forehead, and they went in twice to fix that up. And I remember looking like Frankenstein a little bit when I was cut across the forehead. And then I had, of course, one on my neck here and my hand here. and my leg here and my shoulder here. But I have so much respect for Faith and her and her family for what they've been through together and how they've gotten strength from it. And I know that Faith's mom has to be so very proud of her and all that she's done. You know, you look at that and you wonder why it had to go that way. You also wonder, why am I so fortunate? Why didn't it go that way for me? I'm a person who's benefited from early detection. I know that I've tried to manage it and had some difficult times with it. For example, coaching after a surgery on my neck. I think that was one of the hardest things I ever did. You know, you get through things on a day-to-day basis and you get strength from it. And then certainly you want to share that with other people. I know she knows I understand as best I can. Never going through what she went through, of course, but being aware of and also trying to spread the word about melanoma.
So on February 4th, 2018, the day after Faith's birthday, the team held a melanoma awareness game with the Polka Dot Mamas Foundation.
I just feel very fortunate that as a head women's basketball coach, we can do things here. We can make people aware. We can bring awareness. And there's all, you know, breast cancer, you know, there's so many different things that you can bring awareness to. But in this case, melanoma really fits all of us at this point, and we want to get the word out. It's a killer. It's an insidious disease that often goes unnoticed and then takes people very quickly. And it's one of the #1 killers of young people. So I think we all have to do our part in educating people as much as possible, being proactive, and just simply letting folks know that we've got to be proactive with this, because it's a killer. It's a real killer.
I was not aware of the devastation and the power of that disease. And I think just bringing awareness to cancer, period, is so important, because there's so many people that it impacts, and the way it impacts their lives going forward, it's unbelievable.
Melanoma can happen to anybody. Just because you are darker skinned or you feel like it can't impact you, fair skinned people are not the only people that it can impact. And you should always protect your skin, whether you are my age, younger, or older, because sunburns can be very bad for you in the long run. So I think that people should, you know, really research to what melanoma is and what it can do to you in the long run. And I think that they should always, you know, talk with other people and support people, and to, you know, wear sunscreen and be safe out in the sun.
Suggs draws the foul. A chance for three.
Basketball has given me an oasis, an escape route, somewhere to go be myself, you know, kind of like leave all the worries on the sidelines. It's been that place where I can bond with my dad and my brother, and I'm so thankful because when I'm on the court, I can let everything go, but I also can feel my mom's spirit within me.
Sports is such a great stage for people to know some of these stories, and to know that there's stories behind the people that are out there on the court, whether you're coaching or playing. And for me as a coach, just being able to coach the women and come to practice every day and get ready for games, you know, it just puts everything in perspective and keeps you moving forward.
The fight and spirit of Sue lives on. Everyone has a story of why they are who they are.
Let's see. We are so glad to share that one. Obviously, a lot of people know our story. And they did such a great job of sharing that. Everybody knows somebody with a story impacted by this disease. And as terrifyingly sad as it is as beautiful, because a lot of people are connected through it in some sort of way. And it's so special. But we have a wonderful couple of guests coming up this week. Obviously, Coach P was on the video, and she will be here on Friday more specifically. And then Dad will dive a little bit into who our guest is later on for Wednesday. So we were excited for you to share those stories with you guys this week. But to kind of transition from the video, good morning.
Good morning, Billy.
To transition from the video, we wanted to take a kind of deeper dive into our own journey with cancer, just to kind of bring more awareness and understanding to the journey within it before we got to who we are today. So obviously, Dad, can you take us from the beginning a little bit, from a medical point of view, from someone from the outside point of view, and tell us a little bit about how this the cancer was discovered? What were the first steps in the original first time when you guys had 96?
It was 96. Your mommy was 6 months pregnant with a girl. Well, I said we really wasn't sure. We had a girl, what we were going to name it, but she, obviously, short picture of mommy. She was very fair-skinned, Irish, German, red hair. And I do remember coming back on a trip, and when I traveled early on, I would always travel with being able to call on the phone. And I got a call from her, and she had this mole on her leg, inside her leg, they got a little different looking. And Dr. Lynch, our doctor, recommended we take it off. And I didn't think anything of it, but I got the call, and it was a very emotional call. She said that the mole turned out to be level 4 melanoma cancer. And the initial reaction, when I first saw her, we were shocked. We were numb. It was a lot of different emotions. But we just, backed up, obviously, two very spiritual people, and begin the process of, we went to a skin doctor, and eventually realized that the mole had to be removed aggressively. And it was a difficult surgery because they had to do a local on her, and fewer contractions were actually trying to come out. But it was a very scary time. But we got through that, and obviously as a result of getting through that, there was only one name for this little girl. We named her Faith. And we went through the initial 4 or 5 years of checking her daily for any signs of any moles or any, and that's what my recommendation to families out there. Skin cancer is a very deadly disease. And if you have something that looks suspect, so has to remove it.
Mm-hmm.
And so we got the 5 years free, and we thought we were okay. And Devin was born in 2001, but that was initial. That brought a lot of awareness to it. I mean, we were very, very. She was very conscious about it. She wanted sun. She self-tanned. Very cautious about it. I know you remember those days when you buy the stuff and she would spray it on her body, so she didn't look too pale. But that was the initial cancer.
Right. And that's one thing is when it comes to, so skin cancer isn't, this is what I learned the other day at the dermatologist, because I went for my annual skin screening, is it's not deadly, but melanoma is a kind of skin cancer that is the most deadliest.
Right.
And if you don't kind of keep your eyes on your freckles and your moles, and you're kind of just watching any pigmentation that changes a little bit, you won't know until it's too late. And we want to make sure everyone is on the same page, but that comes with everything, with getting your annual physicals and everything like that. We will dive into that a little later, obviously, because that is the point of this week, to raise awareness, but also understand and education towards this disease, towards other things, obviously, especially right now in this pandemic. But
well, let me ask you this question. I think you mentioned something in another video that you did. I actually mentioned that it really doesn't matter the tone of your skin, dark, light skin. Maybe talk a little bit about that.
Right. So the thing that here's the thing about melanoma cancer and skin cancer: the less melanin in your skin, the more likely, which is the darker you are, lighter you are, you're more likely to, when exposed to sun, cause detrimental effects to your skin, which can lead to skin cancer and other things, right? Because when you burn your skin, that's why they tell you wear SPF 40 and above, because you want to protect your skin. Also, people should know that if you don't wear sunscreen, you age faster.
Right.
You age fast. You want to look nice forever. But it does not, Black people and people with higher melanin counts can still get melanoma cancer and skin cancer. And it's actually very hard for them to know, because you cannot see the difference in your moles in comparison to someone who is super lighter skinned, who can see the mole change and color change And so that's why it's a lot more dangerous when it comes to Black people and people of higher melanin accounts, because they can't notice when something is, you know what I mean? It's harder. So you really have to pay attention and make sure you go to your checkups and notice if things are wrong, if things feel different, or lymph nodes are swollen, and because that stuff matters. And it also is just taking note of how your body feels when it comes to that stuff. Because when it comes to this and it's your skin, you do have to pay attention. And it does. So that is it. That's why we talk about in the videos is the higher melanin in your skin doesn't mean you're completely protected. You do have a higher chance of not getting it. Yes. And that is what doctors have told you about me and Devin. But we still know that you have to be careful because it is something that moves fast. It moves fast, and it can get anybody at any age. So you have to be careful with it. But that's a big thing, and that comes with just educating yourself on what it is.
Right. It's devastating. That kind of leads us to the second part of it, when we realized it came back.
Right.
And it came back, and it took her very quick. And so the signs, we had no idea what the signs were. There was a couple of times I know that she had some instances where she was in the hospital. We couldn't figure out what it was earlier. But 14 years later, her back began to start bothering her. And we were going to the chiropractor. And I do remember it was a time when we were doing a lot of travel. We were basketball. And it was baffling. We're all going to chiropractor, and it was baffling. And we I ended up getting home, and there was 2 times where it was so bad in her back that we ended up in the emergency room, and they eventually did a CT scan, and just like her video, shared in the video that she had a burst fracture. This is right around off the age of 9. She had a burst fracture in her T3 vertebrae upper that was cancerous, and then they noticed there were other spots. And then further tests through that week that we began to really, again, it was shocking. It was how could this come back? And we finally realized it came back. We went to oncologists, and initially they couldn't find anything. It didn't show up like cancer, but in the meantime, the deterioration was rapid, very rapid, and ended up into the emergency room in the hospital. And when we finally validated that it was the melanoma coming back, that was August 9th. That's when we lost her on October 9th, 2 months later. So it happened very fast. We talked about the emotions, the initial feelings around it. I think for me, it was, again, shocking. It was for a couple, maybe a month of denial. I think Mom was really aware, and really was, with the grace of God, she really able to, when she was able to, share exactly what she was feeling. I didn't realize how much she was pain, but the conversations we were having were very good, and the support that we got from people was amazing. That's just one thing that when you're going through like this, be candid with people as much as you can, especially with kids. I don't know if you were, we had shows about that, but be as open about it as you possibly can. And I think we began to do that. There's probably a couple of people who actually passed away, because you need that support. The support was overwhelming. When people came over, helped you and Devin, helped her with food. I was in the hospital a lot with her. The support was actually wonderful. That's why it's really good to embrace the love that's around you. And then you do that by sharing what's going on. We had really good doctors. Our family doctor was wonderful. So we have really good doctors, and a lot of support. But it is a very different time. And we're going to have, on Wednesday, we're going to have Robin Coleman who his husband Arthur Coleman was an amazing man, amazing friend that also passed away of cancer. And she'll have maybe a different story. Of course, on Friday we'll have Coach Joanne McCauley, who also is a Villanova survivor. But yeah, the second time in a row is kind of what people experience. I think the one blessing out of it, Faith, it's a very short time. It's only 2 months.
Right.
You know that my dear friend Terry Schmidt played for the Bears. We had on the show, wife Nancy. He suffered almost a year. You know, you hear about stories about that. People, it goes on and on and on.
Right.
But just the love and the support that we had was just wonderful.
Right. Right. And talk to us a little bit about the up and down toll with cancer when it comes to medical things like this. There's always the clinical trial or the things that, because I know during our experience there was a clinical trial that we were going to try. Do you remember this process?
Yes. Oh, I know it very vividly. I know. Yeah.
Yes. And this happens a lot to a lot of people. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. And just talk to us a little bit about that process. How it's constantly evolving, the fight against cancer evolving, and everybody's trying to figure out the next thing to try to make it better. Obviously, we have no cure yet. But talk to us a little bit about that part so people can understand that.
Well, the wonderful thing about this fight, and it takes all of us to fight cancer. The wonderful thing about cancer, the one thing about what's happening with cancer is we have come a long way since Mommy died.
Right.
The different treatments would come a long way. And at that time, because he was so aggressive, we did have an opportunity to do a chemo. It was I cannot remember the drug, but we had an opportunity to do a chemo one session, and of course, unfortunately, before she was able to do the next trial run, she had passed away. That's how aggressive it was. But you know, that was a lot of hope. When we heard that, that was a lot of hope that there was a possibility that we had maybe 6 months. The realization when she actually started, and we only had 2 weeks on how aggressive it was. But today, we hear stories. There's friends that are watching today that have obviously gone through this, have had really positive treatment. Scientists and just so support with things like the American Cancer Society does a phenomenal job. With the Jimmy B Foundation that you did a commercial on. Just all the celebrities and all the people that are bringing this awareness about cancer has raised a tremendous amount of money to fight this disease. But hopefully one day, with the grace of God, we'll be able to find a cure for cancer.
Right. No, 100%. We see everyone popping in.
Yes.
No, and today we're not going too long, but we really wanted to cover this, especially from our own experience.
Right.
We always learn through the words and stories of other people. And I think we all have our own moment of any connection to this disease. And obviously this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and breast cancer is a very, very, very fast and struggling and common disease in a lot of people. And a lot of us have known someone who has been affected by that one especially. And so that's why I wanted you to describe that, because there's always a trial or a clinical study or something that goes on in everyone's process, and it always provides hope. And hopefully as time goes by and the more money we put towards the awareness and the American Cancer Society, and we're protecting and trying to help these scientists get to a point.
Can I ask you a question? I think we talked about it before, but as a kid, you were 13 or 14 years old. How did that? Can you maybe share your experience with how you processed it?
Yeah, well, we didn't have much visibility to what you had visibility to. Obviously, we were not at radiation. We were not at those things. So everything we had was more on the outside, obviously, understandably. But we do remember it was constant amount of hospitals and constant try to figure out like how to get ahead of it. And that's one of those things when it comes to cancer, you can't. You kind of just got to fight it as it comes. So that's really our experience from it. That's really it. Because that is the only accessibility we had and visibility we had to it, which is probably the best things about it, right? Keep us involved and keep us in the loop, but not to a point where it's like, because this experience, and I think a lot of us can second this, is it can be very draining emotionally, and it's hard to grab hope when you're in these moments, because it's such a disease that takes so many people, and it really brings people down to a space of like weakness. It's hard, and you have to see this person as a strong person now fight something that is so hard to fight. So no, that was really our experience, and I know Devin will say the same thing. Even though he was young, Devin remembers a lot. He's the storyteller of our family. So
Yeah, that's right.
Devin be able to get on and be able to give a good point of view of what he went through as well. But no, I mean, everything you say, it's just along those lines.
Right.
It's just what it is, and it is a story we can use to help others for sure.
Well, the one thing that you've done, and you've shared this in your wonderful show on purpose, the show Purpose, was that you figure out what your purpose was. And your purpose is to share your story. And your story is a very powerful story, and it's about how you overcame cancer and how your story was an inspiration to those who are going through it. And that was really, really wonderful. But for those who didn't get a chance to see that show, it's a wonderful show. But
Well, yeah, and you know what makes it easy is the fact that I haven't had to fight cancer.
mhm.
I'm blessed right now. You know what I mean? And my experience was witnessing someone else go through it, and that's a very humbling experience. Understanding that life is not really in your control. You have to just take what it gives you and try to do the best you can.
Right.
With the direction manual that God had placed in front of us. So that's one of the most humbling experiences you can have, and it changes your image of and perception of life in general. Understanding that it's such a blessing to wake up every day and get the opportunity to make mistakes and to try new things. But yeah, I mean, that was one of the things, and that's why we have this show, just to continue to raise awareness and continue to kind of, try to do the best to fight cancer our own sort of way, because at least it's moving a step forward, right? And so that's why this week we're going to dedicate a lot of different ways to share, funds, money, financial support. We can share support groups any way we can, because I know that a lot of people, and most people watching, have someone who is connected to this disease in some sort of way. And that's why it's so beautiful when we have months like these that dedicate time and efforts towards this disease and towards the fight to this disease, because it brings a lot of people together and a lot of support that other people need.
Right.
But I have a wonderful video of a young man and his American Cancer Society fight. Let me pull that up for us. Oh, here it goes. Can you see that, Dad?
Yes, I can see it.
Let's see. All right.
Hello, my name is Shafer Suggs, former National Football League player with the New York Jets. I am so proud and honored to be an ambassador with the NFL's Crucial Catch program in alliance with the American Cancer Society. It takes all of us. It takes all of us to fight cancer. We want to encourage families, fans, and friends to get regular screenings and schedule their yearly doctor's checkup. As you well know, October is Cancer Awareness Month. And the Crucial Catch program in the National Football League Players Association, we are going to intercept cancer. Again, it takes all of us to fight cancer. One's fight against cancer is never just one's fight. God bless you, and may God continue his healing grace against cancer. Goodbye.
Beautifully done. Talent of the family.
So we are the National Football League players in alliance with the American Cancer Society for the month of October are launching a Crucial Check. You will see these commercials throughout the week, throughout the game, throughout the commercials. And you start fighting against cancer, and you'll see a lot of players, a lot of coaches are supporting our Crucial Catch program. And it's just an honor to be an ambassador. for crucial catch here in the Midwest. And again, it takes all of us to fight cancer. All of us. So,
Right, and we will put more information and links and how to get involved throughout our Facebook as well as on Dad's Facebook, which is Shafer Suggs. He will have a bunch of stuff on there. It should be public if he's doing exactly what he should be doing as a social media person. To me, but we shall see about that. So we'll try to get as much resources as we possibly can and have you guys be able to share this show. And then throughout this week, and obviously, we have exciting shows Wednesday and Friday. Friday with Joanne P. McCauley, former coach at Duke University, with her own fight with melanoma, and which has been years and years, and how she's persevered through that. But also, an awesome show on Wednesday, which Dad is about to talk to you about right now.
So yes, I think I mentioned that before, that we have a wonderful family friend, one of your biggest fans, Robin Coleman, who is the lovely wife of Arthur Coleman, who was a decorated Marine. Actually, I don't know if you remember this, but he was one of the, they did the commercials, We Are Marines, back in the 80s. He was featured in that commercial. You see him on billboards all over the country, but he lost his battle to cancer. And Robin started a really wonderful support program called Heart Strong that we're going to talk about. That program, she's going to share her story, share her encouragement, give her advice to families, and it'll just be really, really, really nice to have her on the show. I'm so honored to have her on the show.
Yep. And we're excited for that for sure. I think today was a special one, really, to lay the foundation down for our wonderful own Cancer Awareness Week here at Faith Family Focus. Obviously, a major toll on our story is this disease, so we would love to share more and more on how we can get involved and how we get other people involved through other stories. So we're excited for this week, and I know you guys are too. I want to thank everyone for joining us today on this wonderful Monday morning. We're so thankful for those of you who stopped by to discuss with us today and kind of get the ball rolling for this wonderful week. We'll see you guys on Wednesday, but we want to thank most importantly Amazon Fire, YouTube, Facebook, Roku, Apple TV, and most importantly our wonderful key platform out of Phoenix, Arizona, E360 TV. Again, this is Faith Family Focus, where we want to use our faith as a vehicle to help heal, sustain others on strengthening the family core, and of course our wonderful slogan, which is on our mugs. Perfect timing. Let go, let God, let go, let faith, let go, let love. Everyone have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Monday to kick off the week. And we will see you guys on Wednesday.
Bye.